So we'll start, and today I will give you the overview, whatever we have studied till now, and then we'll continue. So now you got to know about the uh, data buffer cache, right? LRU and CQ. So in the data buffer cache, we have LRU and CQ, right? How the data is stored in the database? It depends, and when till how long the data will be there in the data buffer cache. It depends on the LRU and CQ, right? So what type of data is there in the LRU queue, and what type of data is there in the CQ? Have you gone through the video for this, Vishnu? Vishnu Teja.
Least
LRU
recently used LRMS whenever we used any data, that block is saved in this form, in this LRM.
Okay, and CQ? And what is there in the CQ?
The modified blocks.
Yes, modified data. Okay. So have you gone through the
Same
video,
also
Sindhu?
in redo log buffer.
Yes, Sindhu. Do you know this
Yes, sir.
concept? Do you know this
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah.
Okay. So in LREQ only read operation data is there, right?
Yes.
So whatever the data is there in the LREQ, it will get removed after some time if you are not using for the longer time, right? One by one. But in CQ, whenever you make any changes, modification, that is there in the CQ. And once you make any changes, it will come to the redo log buffer also. And after commit, it will come to the data file. As you can see,
Redo log files.
yes. Once commit is done, it will come to the redo log file. So which process write the data in the redo log file? That is done by the
Modified data.
LGWR, log writer.
Yeah.
Okay. So writing from the redo log buffer to redo log file is done by the LGWR background process, right? Okay. So after commit, once the transaction is complete, commit is transaction complete. Once commit, it will come to the redo log file, but not in the data file. Still, you can see here in the data file, still we have old data, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So actually, user has to get the data from the data file, not from the redo log. Okay, data is there in the redo log file, but it also has to come to the data file. Got it? Whenever you commit the data, it should come to the data file also. So when it will come to the data file? When the committed data should come to the, it will come to the data file. So in the data file, it will not come immediately in the data file. After you change the data, it won't come immediately in the data file. Okay. So when it will come to the data file, if there is no space in the data buffer cache, if there is no space in the memory, if data buffer cache is not having enough space, then it will come to the data file. Okay. If data file is not having enough space.
Sir, whenever we modify data, the data go to review log file.
Yes.
But it didn't go to data file.
Yes. When it will go to the
So
data file?
what is the procedure, sir?
What I'm saying
That's
now,
why I'm asking, sir. I
when it
didn't
will
get
go
that,
to the
sir.
data file? Modified data is there 2 times in the memory. So modified data will come to the data file later. Okay, after some time. I told just now, I told, right? It will not come immediately, right? Just now I told. So modified data in the data file, it will come when? If they know enough space in the memory. Let's see, memory area is filled up. 500 MB memory size, right? After 10 minutes or 15 minutes, they know a space in the memory. So what happened? This is dirty buffer. All these are dirty block, right? This is dirty block, right? This is dirty block. It is occupying the space in the memory, right? Because data is there, 8 KB, 8 KB, right?
Yes, sir.
So what happens? All these data will come to the data file. It will clear the space. When? When it will come? At 8:10. So after 5 or 10 minutes, it will come to the data file. Got it? In the redo log file,
Okay.
immediately. You can see here. As soon as you change and commit immediately. But it will come to the data file when? At 8:10. Why 8:10? Because there is no space in the memory. Got it? That time it will come. Might be 8:15, 8:20, 8:30. We don't know. Okay. So in the
I have
data
a small
file,
doubt, sir. Sir, if
tell me.
if did not change any, you did not modify any data, so that will automatically got deleted, sir.
In the memory, it will get deleted.
If if we only modify, then only it come to you, and after
Yes,
10 minutes it came to this data files.
yes.
Okay.
After modified, it will come to the data file after 10 minutes. This timing is not fixed. Might be 15 minutes, 20 minutes,
Yes,
half an
sir. Yes,
hour.
sir. I understand. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
That is the reason modified data will not come to the LRU. Why? Because it will get removed, right?
Yes, sir. This
Modified
came to
data has to be
CQ.
saved, right? I told you that time also.
Yes, sir.
Modified data has to be saved. So B will come to the data file after 10 minutes. System chain number 12525. What time it will come here? 8. Tell me the time.
10.
Right, 8:10.
8, 10, sir.
All will come one, not one by one, all at a time. This is a batch operation. S to T will come here, right? At what is SCN number? 12526. At what time? 8:10, right?
8, 10.
Yes. K to L will come here. At what time? 8:10, right? 12527. So it's coming to the data file after few minutes, and it will give the space for the new data, right? It will get removed from the memory, right?
Yes, sir.
Because now dirty buffer is now free buffer, right? Earlier the buffer was
Yes, sir.
dirty. Now data will move to the data file. Now free buffer, there is no data, there is no data in the dirty buffer. It's now free, right? Got it.
Yes.
Data came to the data file. Now the block is free. There is no data now. So dirty buffer will come to the data file after few minutes, not immediately, right? Okay. So now you got to know the use of log writer, right? LGWR. It writes the data in the data file when it writes after commit, right? Immediately
Mhm.
after commit. But database writer is writing from the Secure to data file after a few minutes, right? That is a difference. Is it clear till here? When log writer writes,
Yes,
when
sir.
database writer writes. Clear, right?
Sir.
Everyone. Okay. Now the role of the database writer to write the data in the data file, as you can see here, right? Role of the database writer is to write the data in the data file. Okay. So database writer writes the data in the data file, right?
Hmm.
Now what is the checkpoint for CKPT? Can you see here? The process name is CKPT, right? Name is checkpoint. CKPT is known for the checkpoint process. Okay. So what is CKPT process? Checkpoint. So database writer is role of the database writer to write the data in the data file, but database writer is the lazy process. DBWR is the lazy. It will not work itself. Okay. Database writer, it will not work itself. So database writer is a sleeping mode. It will be there in a sleeping mode. So checkpoint process will ask the database writer to wake up. What it will do? Checkpoint process will ask the database writer to wake up, and then database writer will wake up and check the data buffer cache. So in the memory there is enough space. A space is there. It will go to sleep. It will not write. So every 3 seconds, checkpoint will ask the database writer to wake up. Again, it will go to sleep. Again, checkpoint will ask wake up. It will check there is enough space, go to sleep. Again, checkpoint will ask wake up, enough space, go to sleep. So it's checking like 8 o'clock, 8 1, 8 2, every time it's checking. But writing is not done every time. When it will write? 8:10. You can see the time, right? At 8:10, they know a space. So at 8:10, database writer start writing. So just understand, checking is done every 3 seconds. Got it? It will check every 3 seconds. Is it clear? Database writer will check every 3 seconds. But it will write when, if they know a space for the new data in the memory, right? That time it will write. Is it clear, everyone? When it will write? Sindhu, is it clear?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So checking is done every 3 seconds, but writing is done if they know space. So example is after 10 minutes. This is one of the example. This is not the fixed time. This is one
Yes,
of the
sir.
example. Okay. So this is one of the role of the checkpoint process. It is initiator. The checkpoint process is the initiator, right? Now another role of the checkpoint process is once the database writer finished writing in the data file at 8:10, database writer is able to complete the writing in the data file, right? Writing is done in the data file. At what time? At 8:10, right? At 8:10, writing is done in the data file. Okay. So at 8:10, writing is done in the data file. After writing checkpoint, what it does, it updates the header of all data file. Each data file will have the header. Got it? Each data file will have the header. This is a
Yeah.
header. So some of the space are reserved for the header of the file. This is a header. Header contains the information about the database. Like pen drive, hard disk, everything will have the header. So let's see if we buy the pen drive with 32 GB, 32 GB storage. Can you get 32 GB storage? If you see, you will get 31 point something, right? You will not get 32 GB, right? So some space is reserved for the header of the pen drive that contain the information about the data, where the data is stored. Got it? So each data file is also
Yes,
having the
sir.
header. Each data file will have the header. So header
Mm.
contains the information about the data. Okay, information. So in hard disk we have the sectors, right? Many sectors. Okay, that information is there in the header. So what happens once the database writer finished writing in the data file, checkpoint update the header of all data file and control file. Checkpoint update the header. Not always. When it update the header, it will update the header at 8:10, for example, because 8:10 finished writing, right? So what is a header? What is the number? It will update the header of data file and control file with the last SCN number. Now tell me the last number. What is last SCN number? What is last SCN number? Tell me.
125277.
Right. So last number is updated, not all. Only number is updated. Number is only number, not the data. Data is updated by the database writer. So only the last number is updated in the header of all data file. So last number is updated in the header of all data file with the last SCN number. This is the last SCN number is updated. Okay. In the header of all data file. Is everyone clear? When it update after the
Yes.
database writer finished writing. So that is the role of checkpoint process. So checkpoint process initiate the database writer to wake up every 3 seconds. And once the database writer complete writing, it update the last number in the header of all data file. But why? Why checkpoint update the header of all data file? There are some reasons, right? So I will tell you the reason. Let's say I have another data in one data file. Let's say I have data U. So once the data is written, I told you it won't be there in the memory. It will get deleted from the memory to give the space for the new data. Now I want to modify the data from U. One more data is there in this data file. I want to change the data from U to V after 8:10. Okay, U to V. Now tell me V will come where? V data will come where after changes? Tell me.
CQ.
CQ and number,
CQ.
sir.
And
Redo number, sir.
Redo log. Redo log.
but commit is not done. Transaction is not complete. Thus, just changes has been done. Let's say commit is done at 8:12. Okay. And the system change number will be 12528, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So immediately log data will write in the redo log file, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
At what time? 8:12 only. Immediately 12528. But in the data file, it will not come, right? Immediately. Might be after 820, right? At 820. Because just now a space is cleared in the memory. So database writer still not able to write. It might write after 10 minutes or 15 minutes, right? Now, data is there in the redo log file physically, but not there in the data file. Still, we have old data in the data file, right? Old data. But user cannot access this file. User will not access. User will only always access the data file only. User will get the data from the data file, not from the redo. Okay. But still we have old data here, right? Now what happens?
Yes, sir.
Before writing the data in the data file, something happened. Like power gone, something happened. System is shut down abnormally. All of a sudden, power gone. Are you getting? See what
Yes, sir.
happens if you normally shut down the database, all data will come to the data file. There is no problem. All data will come to the data file, then database will shut down. But what happens? Some power is gone. Sometimes what happens if you don't save the Word file or any document, all of a sudden your system shut down. That document is lost, right? Okay, the
Yes, sir.
document is lost. So what happens? All of a sudden database is shut down, power gone. So whatever the data is there in the memory, it's lost, right? Got
Yes,
it?
sir.
No data in the memory because data shut down, database shut down. I told you earlier. Once you shut down and restart, it's like a newborn baby, right? No data. Now after shutdown, now power came and I am starting the database. But when you start the database, there is no data, right?
Yes, sir.
So before writing the data, database was shut down. So how the user will get the data? Here we have old data, right? One data is old. All is okay, but there is problem with
Yes,
one
sir.
data, right? One transaction. So now the database writer cannot write the changes from the buffer cache to data file because data is not there, right? Database writer cannot write. Data is not there in the memory, right? So in this
Okay.
scenario, what happens? Now you can see the data is there in the redo log file, right?
Yes, sir.
Wait. Here we have EV, right? Not committed data is there, right? Sorry. We should have changed data here. So data is updated in the data file. Sorry, redo log file.
Redo log.
Now what happens?
Yes, sir.
If you are trying to start the database, then now data will come from the redo log file to data file. Got it? Okay. In the redo log file, for safer side, data is saved, right? He will not lose the data. Data is saved in the redo log. So in this condition, now data will be copied from the redo log file to data file. Got it? Because in the memory data is not there, right?
Yes, sir.
So which process writing the data? Database writer?
Database
No.
writer.
No. Database writer will write from the data buffer cache, checkpoint queue to data file, not from the redo log file. Database writer cannot access the redo. No. It will not done by the LGWR also. No. So which process? That is done by the SMON. Got it? SMON
Okay.
process copy the data from the redo log file to data file. Got it? SMON is known for the system monitor. S1 stands for system monitor. So if any data is not there in the data file, when you restart the database, it will copy the data from the redo log file to data file automatically. We are not going to copy and paste manually. It's done automatically by SMON. So this is called recovery, right? Recovery, you know the recovery. So data has to be recovered from the redo log file to data file. So this is called instance recovery. You know the instance, right? This is the memory instance. This is called
Yes, sir.
instance recovery. So instance recovery is done by which process?
Yes.
S1. Yes. So S1 will copy the missing data from the redo log file to data file. But the question is, how S1 knows that only one data has to be written in the data file? How S1 will know that? There are many data, right? B, T, L. So how S1 knows that it had to copy only one? How? Any guess? Anyone? How S1 knows that? Tell me, any guess?
No.
S1 can copy everything, right? Why is copying only one missing data? So you can say that BTL already there in the data file, right?
Unused data.
BTL is already
Yes,
there,
sir.
so it will not copy,
It
right?
might be cleaning unused data, sir.
So how S1 will get to know that? With the help of header. Can you see the header of the data file? What is the last number?
1, 2,
28, sir.
5 to
One,
7.
very it. This 12527, right?
Yes, sir.
So S1 will check the header of all data file when you restart the database. Then it will get to know that up to this point, there no problem. Up to 12527, all data is updated in the data file, right? Till this point, everyone.
Yes, sir.
So there is no problem with up to 12527. After
Yes, sir.
12527, data is missing in the data file, right? So after 12527, there is only one data, right? That is B, right? Not it.
Yes, sir.
Then it will get to know that it had to copy one transaction. This because after 12527, only one transaction was there. So it will copy one transaction, right? Clear now? How is one know that? How to copy the missing data?
Sir.
Because of the SC last number, right? Last SC number. That is the reason checkpoint update the header of all data files. You know the reason, right? Why checkpoint is updating?
Yes,
Everyone.
sir.
Still any doubt,
Yes,
anyone?
sir.
What is the role of SMON? SMON is used for the instance
Yeah.
recovery. Right? Instance recovery. So today you got to know the role of the SMON process, checkpoint database writer, and also LGWR, right? Now I am
Yes,
going
sir.
to explain you PMON. We also have the process PMON, process monitor, right? So what is the use of PMON process? So SMON is known for the process a system monitor, and PMON is known for the process monitor. So PMON keep
Okay.
monitoring the user processes. Okay. PMON keep monitoring the user processes. Let's see what happens if user wants to get the data. User has to log in, right? User has to use the username password. So once user give username password, then connection will come to the data dictionary cache. Authentication has to be done, right? You know that.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
After that,
Yes, sir.
one session created. For you, one session is created. That is stored in the UGA. This is called user global area. User session information is stored in the user global area. So when you log into the database, session information is stored in the UGA, user global area. Because you are occupying some resources, right? Once you log in, you will occupy RAM, CPU, right? You will occupy some resources in the
Sir.
database. So UGA contains the user information. User work, this is user work area. And once you log out, then memory area will be released for this. Once log out. Got it? So for each and every user connection, one session memory area is allocated in UGA. And once you log out, for that user, it will get released. Got it? Now sometimes what happens? User is not logging out. Even though if user not logging out, user session get terminated automatically. User user sessions get terminated automatically. You will get disconnected sometimes. When after some time, like let's say you are logging to the net banking, just logged in and you are not doing any activity. If you see after 5 minutes, what happens? Automatically you are logged out, right? Again you have to log in after 5 minutes, right? Session timed out. So that is done by which process? PMON. So PMON will keep checking the user processes. It will keep checking the user processes. So if user timeout is over, it depends on the application. Sometimes 5 minutes, 10 minutes, right? We need to set it. If you set 5 minutes, and if user not doing any activity for 5 minutes, automatically user will get disconnected. Okay, it will get disconnected automatically. So what happens? What is the PMON process? Terminate
Sir,
user
why
connection.
that happens, sir?
Yes, tell me.
Why that happens? Why it's logout?
Because there is some restrictions are set. If you're not doing any activity, let's say you logged into the net banking, right? And you
Yes, sir.
left your system. All of a sudden you're not able to log out. Okay, you left your system.
Yes, sir.
Someone will make the transaction, right? Someone
Yes,
will
sir.
log into your system. They can make the transaction, right?
Yes,
So
sir.
because of security reason, if you're not doing any activity for 5 minutes, then it will disconnect the user. Like bank application will disconnect the connection automatically, right? For the security purpose. They will get
Mhm.
they will get to know that you are not doing any activity, right?
Yes, sir.
Unnecessarily logged out. And once you log in, you are occupying some resources, right? So clear the memory. It should clear the space from the database. Okay. So it depends. Sometimes we set 5 minutes, 10 minutes. It depends on the requirement, customer requirement, client requirement. Okay. So it terminates the user session after the timeout that is done by the PMON and release the resources. Release the resources occupied by. So any space you have occupied earlier, CPU, RAM, that has to be released because you are logged out, right? You got terminated, right?
Yes, sir.
So that is done by the process monitor. Got it, everyone? It terminates the session, not always after the timeout only. So it will keep checking which user is sitting idle for 5 minutes. PM1 will terminate the connection if they are not doing any activity for 5 minutes, just logged in. Got it? But it's
Yes,
not
sir.
fixed. It depends. Sometimes we set 5 minutes, 10 minutes. It depends. Okay. So that is the role of PM1 process. Now we have Java pool. What is Java pool? Java pool memory area is required. There is something called Java application. For that, we need the Java pool memory area. Large pool memory area is required if you're running the large operation. Large operation is called like backup and recovery. There are few large operations are there. These are the optional. These are optional. Okay. So that time large pool memory area is required. Archival process. I'll explain you. We have the topic for that redo log file management. See each and every file we have a topic. Control file we have one topic. Data file, redo log file. So archival process as of now not required. What is the use of archival process? ERCN. I'll explain you at the time of redo log file management. So these are 5 mandatory background process. If any is down, your database will shut down. These five are mandatory. Always it has to be up and running. Got it? S1 checkpoint database writer, PMO log writer. It has to be up and running always. Okay. Now library cache is what is library cache? It contains the SQL statement. If you run any SQL statement, that is stored in the library cache. So it can be used later. So now what I will do, I will share the softwares. You download the softwares, and tomorrow I will show you how to install the Linux. After that, I will give you the training on Linux. Okay,
Sir, your voice is breaking.
for you and for others also. Vishnu, for you clear?
No, sir.
For you also breaking. Sindhu,
Yes, sir, I'm clear.
my voice is clear.
Yes, sir, your voice is clear.
Suleiman, I guess you have some network problem. Okay. So we will connect tomorrow. Just download all of the softwares which I am going to provide you. And tomorrow I will show you how to install the Linux. Okay. After that, we'll give
Sir,
you the
your
training
voice
on
is
Linux.
breaking.
Everyone. So we'll see you tomorrow. Bye everyone. Any question? Any doubt?
No, sir, but can you?
No, sir.
I joined just 2 minutes ago.
Yeah, I upload the video. I upload the video now. In the same link, you will get the video. Okay, you'll
Okay,
get
sir.
the video in the same link. You open the link, you'll get the video. There no link, another link. Okay, same link, you'll get it. The video will be uploaded. You will not get any mail also. There no notification. Okay. After 5 minutes, just check the link. Open the link.
Okay, sir.
Open
Okay,
Google
sir.
Drive and then click on share with me. Okay, Google Drive with your mail. Okay, and then check it. So we'll connect it tomorrow. Okay.